Donald Trump is a virus, but he's also the cure. He's the vaccine. And no bleach or bright lights are required. But I am starting to believe that we are getting closer to the end of Trump. After his madness, his anti-Midas touch, destroying the US economy. 8 trillion just wiped off the stocks. The Nasdaq's down, Dow's down, pretty much everything is down, and so is his popularity rating. Oh my giddy aunt. Well, we did see 5 odd million people across the states in the United States. Every single state had a protest, and they showed or demonstrated their dismay of the president, dum-dum of the United States, Donald Trump. He's now being ostracised by some of the key players, including Elon Musk. He's out now. That he is. I think Wisconsin didn't help much, no, since his little, how to put it, bribe for votes, backfired on him. And it did. Thought he'd just buy people. Some people are stupid enough to take the money, if they ever actually got it. But you see, the likes of Elon Musk was 350 odd million that he spent to get Donald Trump to be the US President of the United States has cost him dear. He's lost so much money. His net worth is pretty much halved. His car company, Tesla, is the most hated company in the world. Flippin' hell. Swastika, they call him. You're not going to recover from this while he's still at the helm. No, not that company. But this is going to go across the board, you see, regarding, the corporate. Jeff Bezos, we're looking at him now. You flipping shithead. Mark Zuckerberg, flipping shithead. A whole lot of them. Those who supported, those who suckled up to old Donald Trump's chocolate starfish. If you know what I mean. Yeah, they bent the knee. That they did. But they've damaged themselves. But they are, They'll recover. Well, Elon Musk won't. Because I suppose at least they didn't do the old Hitler salute. Bloody Nazis. They pretty much all are, to be fair. Bunch of bastards. Now, as far as the MAGA voters, I don't have a lot of hope in them. Although many of them did actually join those protests. But the hell-bent MAGA who's driving around in their giant trucks and the AK-47 or whatever their assault rifles might be that they're using. Just madness. They're still up Donny's arse. They really are. But you see, this is going to get worse. You see, it's going to hit everybody. People are going to lose money. The cost of everything is going to go through. Well, it's just going to go through the roof. Now, we've got to remember is China, for instance. They pretty much supply all the components, the parts for your iPhones, for your Teslas, for your other cars, the touch screens, you name it. They all come from places like China, Korea, places like that. And when you consider China, for instance, had a tariff put on them of around 20% in March, and come April the 2nd, they slapped another 34% onto China. That's 54%. China has retaliated with a 34% tariff uplift, and now Donald Trump is now threatening China again with another 50% on top. That's 104% on China. And every manufacturer, well, pretty much every manufacturer in the United States that's already in the United States rely on components from China. Including the, your little arms race. Weapons manufacturing. It's not just panels and boards and this, that and the other. It's all the little tiny things. They've got resistors and transistors and IC chips, you name it. All this stuff comes from somewhere. A lot of it comes from China and Taiwan. All been hit with rather hefty tariffs. It's not going to end well, is it, when everyone's finding that absolutely everything is more expensive, and then there's obviously the cost of food, so everything's gone up. In the United States, everything. This is so inflationary. You are literally, well, it's not just in the United States, this is going to be pretty much everywhere. Obviously, the United States is going to be hit the hardest, because anyway, that's where the tariffs are, but those who want to sell to the United States are also going to be hit. But anyone want to buy anything, it's going to, find the costs are going to go, they're just going to go through the roof. Like I say, it's inflationary. Everything becomes more expensive, and now we've got Donald Trump telling the federal bank, that they must lower the interest rates. Hopefully they don't listen. It's the only tool they've got to try and keep a hold, try to keep a hold on the economics. It's the increased interest rates to curb spending, and then hopefully brings down inflation. But when you get extremely high product costs, this is going to be... I just can't see how this is ever going to work in favour of the American people, or anybody in favour, anyone who wants to sell to the United States. How is this going to be in anyone's favour? Donald Trump seems to think you cripple other countries. No! That's not how it works. When the WTO was first founded and what have you, well, they basically... The United States... because they were the strongest party, they pretty much wanted all the other countries to become a little bit stronger, so they buy stuff from the United States. You could argue that it hasn't been controlled very well, and it's gone against the United States somewhat since manufacturing has left the United States, but this is over 40-odd years plus. You're not going to bring back the manufacturing overnight. Not in 1 year or 2 years or 5. It ain't going to happen, because the manufacturers who make this stuff and then will sell this stuff are going to look at this and think, okay, we've still got to import the components that we need. Even though we build a factory, we haven't got the stuff. And now we're going to build a factory when we can't get the stuff to do it, or the labour to do it. And then we've got to pay higher wages. The cost of everything is just going to increase even higher, which means you'll be paying more. Your products won't get cheaper, they'll become even more expensive. See, some of these companies, factories who want to import into the United States, because say, well, we'll just have to suck it up, and maybe someone will come to their senses at some point, saying, hey, all the tariffs aren't working, and take them off. Or Donald Trump say, well, it's done its job now, we'll start removing them. Oh yeah, manufacturing's coming back to the United States, when probably nobody has. But he lies. There ain't going to be any new factories. There might be one or two, but... Flipping out, you've got thousands of containers coming to the United States every single day, from China, from India, from Vietnam, and places like that. You're not going to replace that amount of trade overnight. You might nibble at it a little bit, but you'll lose more than you gain. It's not rocket science. This is just counting. And you've got flipping Elon Musk at the moment, and he's speaking up out against Donald Trump at the minute, hoping that the EU and the United States will negotiate a free trade deal at some point. No, that's not going to happen, because Donald Trump doesn't want that. Only way it's going to happen if you implement the 25th. Impeach him. But that ain't going to happen either, because his lackeys they're literally suckling on his old starfish. That they are. His chocolate starfish. even the law firms, legal firms, they've even bent the knee. They were threatened by Donald Trump they're going to be sued and all that, and what they do, okay, we'll give you free cover. Yeah, free illegal. Which also means that they can't fight for the, further defendants, what have you. Donald Trump is trying to sew everything up so tight to maintain his position in government. But what happens when the likes of the media, such as Murdoch, when he starts turning on him? That'll be the end. Because then the MAGA will start turning. Murdoch has probably lost a shitload of money. Good. Along with a lot of these others. Lost a shitload of money. And that will go along with you as well. Your 401k, your pensions, they're going to be screwed. Now, some people say, well, I don't know, we need to move it to here, get bonds instead. Bonds are a bit pricey at the moment, though, but, you could do that. But what if Donald Trump removes the tariffs because he's going to have to? At some point, he's going to have to remove them. The pressure is going to become too intense. He'll make up some excuse or say it worked or something like that, but there will be a point where he'll have to. You see, he's also removing the 800. If you've got if importing stuff under €800, well then you don't pay any tariffs. There's no customs on it. That's going. So this is going to affect every single little thing that you buy, whether it be from Xi'an or Tebo, all that stuff. It's all going to end up being 54% more expensive. And if he does a retaliatory tariff of 50% on top of that, that's 104%. That's literally doubled the cost of the product. Doubled it. And all this is really just down to Donald Trump and his ego. He doesn't want to back down all this stuff because unless he really, really has to, he's got to be pushed into it or pressured into it by those around him. Unless he does that, well, he's going to just keep on hammering forwards. You see, he's where he says, I'm all right, Jack. And some of these people, like Donald Trump, will probably, as people lose their homes and properties and businesses fail and shit hits the fan and there'll be lots of bargains to be had. There'll be a lot of money to be made. Now, some people say, well, what about the corporations? Are they waiting for that? I don't believe that likes of somebody like, I don't know, Jeff Bezos wants that. Because for that to happen, his own business, Amazon, is going to take a hit. And the same with Facebook. Meta is all going to have to take a hit. I don't think they want to do that. Look at Elon Musk at the moment. He looks like he's going to cry every time he talks about Tesla. It does give me warm fuzzy feeling inside, that it does. So I actually think we're getting closer now to see the end of Donald Trump, and that with these protests and the pressure from all around. When people start seeing this, the Republicans see these people, they think, hang on, maybe it ain't such a great idea after all. Donald Trump ain't the Messiah. No, he's just a naughty little boy. Anyway, what do you say? Am I on the money? Maybe, I don't know. Let us know in the comments down below. I just cannot see how businesses that have relatively small profit margins, around 2 to 10%, are going to be able to suffer these tariffs without putting it onto the buyer. They are not going to have a choice. No. Especially the wholesale retailers, the Walmarts out there, the Target stores, all them stores out there, they're going to have to pass it on. Because we're looking at potentially an additional 84% tariff on top of what was already handed out back in March. Lovely. Wouldn't you say? No, it's not. Anyway, please leave it in the comments down below, but please put the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the links are down below. And if you want my opinion, should we capitulate to Donald Trump now? You've got to pile on the pressure. Canada, Mark Carney, he's got the right idea. Elbows up, yeah. That's what you got to do. You've got to stand up to bullies. That's my 2 pence worth, I suppose. What's yours? Leave it in the comments down below. Toodaloo. Love to the family.